here on Hotline Radio. Of course, it's been a wonderful, blessed day, and it's getting ready to get even more exciting. As a matter of fact, as I have a good friend of mine back on the show for an encore. It's always good to keep up with what this gentleman is doing. He does some wonderful projects. Without any further ado, I'd like to welcome back to the show writer, producer, and director Todd E. Braley. How you doing, man?
Keith Harris, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm taking it easy, Todd. Taking it easy. Everything. Look, summertime's coming in, so I'm feeling good.
Yeah, well, summertime maybe summertime there, but in Colorado, man, I got bipolar weather over here. I can't make up its mind whether it wants to be cold or it wants to be hot. I mean, it's been raining all day at like 40 degrees.
What? Raining and raining I can see, but 40 degrees. Look, that's almost freezing rain, Todd.
I know. It's kind of scary. We had some thunder about 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
thunder
wow.
and lightning. So,
wow.
Yeah, welcome to hell.
Hey, you know what? I was just getting ready to say that it sounds like it makes the perfect atmosphere to survive the undead up there.
Oh yeah, the zombie apocalypse, baby. This is where it happens, right here in Grand Junction.
Hey, look, first off, before we get started too, and we'll get into it more, but I wanted to congratulate you, just on the show in general, man. I know last time we talked, there was the anticipation on waiting, for it to hit cable, and then it hit cable, and then it just started to go down from there on out. Some parts happened where I thought was real tragic, and I think because they're in the past now, we probably can talk about them a little bit, last time it was difficult to talk about it because we was waiting for it to come up. But listen, man, again, I gotta applaud you. Kudos, because you're doing real good. I like the way the show is formatted. Your characters are amazing. Look, so much to talk about with that right there. But how's the enjoyment so far since Surviving the Undead went on to cable TV? How's the response been?
The response has been a lot crazier than I thought it was going to be. People are watching the show. If they're not watching it on cable, then they're watching it. They're watching it on YouTube, and we've gotten a lot of great positive feedback on stuff. In fact, it's kind of weird. I think the only negative, and I'm not trying to be arrogant or cocky in any way, but it's kind of funny. The only negative comment that I've heard about it, since we've started, is a 16-year-old kid that posted on the Facebook page said, it's kind of corny, but I'll watch it again.
Right, we know what that means. Well, look,
and that's it. I mean, I think we've been blessed, man, with such great feedback, and the actors in our we've got a new camera crew that came on board, and I just got damn lucky, Keith. I just got really lucky, and the response from people about the show, when somebody says, and not somebody that's associated with the show, because it's one thing when you've got actors, like our little actress Taylor Allen, who plays Natty. It's one thing when their parents say, "Oh, we can't wait for the next episode," but it's another thing when people that aren't even associated with the show send you private messages,
right,
asking you, "Hey man, can you post your episode early so I can watch it?" And then I'm like, I have to say no. I'll have to wait till for Saturday night, just like everybody else.
Right, and for me, I went through that phase too, because I appreciate what you always do for me and pushing them through, and so I get the luxury of watching them in my own time, and because I can't pick up that cable channel, sometimes I get caught like, okay, wait a minute, I don't know if I should post this because, I'm not sure when it's going to air exactly at that particular time. But listen, I tell you what, Todd, I get lost in my own little world. It's like having my own little theater over here watching those shows all to my lonesome. I love it. Just here with the family.
Right on. Well, and you know what? That's the other thing you can do. You can watch it with your family.
Right.
I've tried to, the first episode I wanted to see how much I could get away with. And so I threw a couple of cuss words in there. Just because I know you can get away with after 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. But then, after we did that, I started paying attention, and I just thought, you know what? I don't think we should have a bunch of swearing in there just because we can. I think that regular television now, unfortunately, and I'm going to step on my little soapbox for a second, but I just think because you can do things on TV now, I think sometimes it gets done just because you can do it.
Right.
To me, I don't want to be part of that. I'm going to do this because you can get away with it now. I want families to be able to watch it. So I kind of backed off on the swearing after we shot the first episode, and just told the actors, where it's got this word, that word, because originally it was going to be a web series. So obviously you put it on YouTube, you can get away with whatever. Right. But I just told the actors, I said, where there's swearing, I said, let's just replace it with something else, and then that way, we can, anybody can watch it, and that's another reason I didn't go crazy with the blood and guts, Right. Some people think that the zombies, when you have a zombie show, it needs to be all about the gore and all about this and that. I mean, we've really been doing well without all that.
And you know what? There was that fork in the road too. I'll say with you guys, it was I think was also successful in what you were doing, because see, there was that fork in the road. For myself, I started. Listen, I almost swayed away. It somewhat made me forget about the zombie situation, just with some of the life issues that you all had incorporated in that story. It's like you're getting. Listen, Todd, we're almost getting two good films in one. Because we're getting that excitement element of where they have to survive, but then there's that family element too, of the family issues and the problems that they're just going through. And so it's amazing when you're watching the show, because you get tied up in, oh my goodness, like, okay, so this girl who does the internet shows, like, she's so self-centered and she hates her family, and you find yourself tied up in that story, and then next thing you know, okay, wait a minute, all right, I totally forgot about the zombie action, so here we go with this now. And so it was great the way you guys put that together.
Well, and that's that was the original thought of the whole show was, and when my thought of the original versions, and I think I sent those to you a while ago, the original episodes. Right. That was the original intent, was to make the storyline about the family, about the sisters, and that to me. It's not that the zombies are secondary, but they're an element to the story to advance the relationship of the sisters. Right. So that's it's kind of a adding them, the zombies in there is just another roadblock. Yeah, a potential roadblock. Excuse me.
And I, and you're right. You did explain that somewhat before. Now I have to ask, because each individual, even though this is a together story, everybody's unified. I have to ask, have people started to kind of latch on to their favorite characters? Because I could kind of see that happening in this series.
Oh yeah. For those of you who haven't watched the show, and you're planning on watching it, there's about to be a spoiler. So if you want to turn the show off right now for about 5 minutes, but I got all of the people at the TV station I work at, all of the reporters that are in the newsroom, had started watching it. Because I had, in the first episode, I had one of our actual orders in the show.
Right.
And so they all started watching it. Well, after the first episode aired, my buddy Angelo Vargas over here, he comes in and he said, dude, I love that show, man. The drunk mom is the bomb, man. I love the drunk mom. He says, the drunk mom just cracks me up, man. He says, she does it so well.
Yeah.
And he says, I love that.
Yeah.
So then I come into work after episode 2. And I walk into work, and Angela is sitting in the newsroom. Now, I always get to work about 7 o'clock in the morning, and he works the morning shift. I walk in, and Angela is sitting in his chair, and he's got his, I go, hey, Angela, what's up? And he looks at me, and he spins his chair around, and he's got his arm hanging over the back of the chair, and he looks at me and he goes, what did you do? What did you do? And I go, what do you mean? He says, you killed the drug mom!
Yeah.
You killed the mom!
Yeah.
That is messed up, man. He says, I liked her. He says, then what are those kids going to do without their mother?
Right.
What are those kids going to do without their mother?
Right.
And at that point, I sat there and I went, we did our job.
There it is.
We got people invested in the characters. We've had my daughter Brienne, who's playing Keit.
Right.
She has, there's a kid that at her school, she doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know his name. But he runs up to her every Monday and starts asking her questions about the show. And she won't answer them, and especially because he's trying to get answers for the following week.
Look, he's smart. He's smart enough to do that already, Todd.
Yeah, so he runs up on it this past Monday, and he goes, okay, all right, is the scientist a good guy or a bad guy?
Right.
And Brienne looks at him, and she goes, well, what? And he goes, is the scientist a good guy or a bad guy? You got to tell me. And she goes, dude, watch the show next week. I'm not going to tell you. He says it's our movie. He's like, man! So it's cool because people are getting invested in those characters, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to have people that watch the show get invested in those characters, you know, and have their favorite character, like you said, Keith. I don't know. You've been watching the show. Do you have your favorite character?
You know what? I do, as a matter of fact. I got to be honest. My favorite character actually is the young lady with her, with her own internet show. The daughter with her own internet show. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I had got biased because I did an internet show. You know what I'm saying? I became kind of I had got kind of envious, Todd, for a minute. I was like, I was watching her work, and I'm like, man, how does she do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, get on there and have that many people. But I'm gonna tell you what drew me to that character, because there was style. Okay, like she had the style behind her. Now, and everything like that. Now, it also touched me that day where it broke down, where the guy was just telling her off, like, listen, you're self-centered. You don't stop to think about anybody else and what anybody else is going through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that kind of hit home. But yeah, that's my favorite character. And the other reason is because I look at her as a bit of an idol to so many other young kids that are coming up. When you just look at just the junior high and the high school popularity that character just portrays. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was my favorite, and then I had my soft moments too, like when people were getting killed off in it. As I told you before, the little girl getting killed off broke my heart.
Yeah. Well, it's the show itself.
All right, did I go? Look, did I go too far?
Well,
if I did, don't worry, don't. If I did, don't go there with it. But like I said, I was like totally wrapped, just being totally wrapped up in it. Now, now again, with the effects, with the effects of the show and things like that, as you're talking about not much gore, you guys are going to keep it like that, keep it in the same realm, right? Where it's not going to get too bloody necessarily, or.
Well, I'm not going to go crazy with it, just because it's don't want to go there. I just don't want to go there.
Yeah. Hey,
Plus,
look.
what I'm trying to do too is keep keep our costs down, because that kind of makeup costs a lot of money.
Oh yeah, you know what?
And that was the thought behind the show at the beginning. Was
to make it different. To make it different.
Well, not just to make it different, but also when we came up with the idea for the show, it's like, okay, how can we keep the cost down? And that's how come the show itself, the entire season only takes place in 3 days.
Man, wow.
You know, so that way it doesn't give, the zombies don't have time to deteriorate. They don't have time, you don't have all that. You don't have all the kind of stuff that they have in The Walking Dead, because obviously they've got the money. For me, it was like, I don't have to turn over cars. I don't have to destroy my neighborhood. My neighbors would obviously be very upset about.
Right.
But that was how I wanted to go, to be able to keep the cost down, was to stay away from elaborate makeup and stay away from stay away from that having to turn cars over and stuff.
And you know what, that was also the meaning of a good story, because I feel like when you have a good storyline in writing such as you guys have, a lot of times that's not really necessary. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. People like the gore and stuff like that to a certain extent, but at the same time, that can get boring. I don't think, even with most zombie shows nowadays, there has to be that part of just what's going on with the people in general. So I think you guys went great with that. Now, how far can you see this going in the future, Todd?
Well, I mean, as far as this season goes, I mean, it's been really hard, because, I mean, Keith, we started shooting in January.
Wow.
It's May, and we're not done yet. we had to take 3 weeks off, because everybody's working for free.
Wow.
I have them at my disposal to a point. Right. And then it's, we had, life comes up.
Yeah.
And, some of these kids some of the people that are working on the show are still in high school. Mm-hmm. There were proms, high school proms that came up. There were birthdays, and, some of them are involved in sports, like, Kiera Hall, who plays your favorite character, Deb. Right. She plays golf. She's a golfer, and she's on the golf team at school.
Oh, wow.
She had golf tournaments.
Wow.
So, now I have to shoot. I can say, look, we got to shoot this weekend. Well, if somebody's busy, I can't do anything except go, okay, I'll shoot around you. Right. So I'm kind of, and the thing that sucks is it was winter time when it started. Well, spring came early in Colorado this year. Mm-hmm. Now the grass is green, the trees have leaves. So now I have to figure that one out.
Right.
Now I have to work around that.
Right, because who knows? Look, family vacations are getting ready to start coming up and all types of stuff.
I want to be done shooting this thing by not this weekend, but the following weekend. As far as I can see this thing going, I would really like to be able to do another season. The way I've kind of developed this, and I don't recall if I talked about this the last time, but season 2 is not going to be anything like season 1, because season 2 has a whole new cast.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Sorry, I was going to say, sorry to cut you off, but look, and you were saying you guys started shooting in January, but listen, you have, script-wise, just people learning their lines and filming, you guys still did a really great job to put together a good show like that from January up to when you did, though. I mean, you weren't wasting any time. Everybody had to be like a machine on this one.
Yeah, well, because, we started shooting on Saturdays and Sundays, and then we had to cut back to just Saturdays, for a little while, and now we're back to 2 days again. And then, of course, we come back to 2 days. We shoot Saturday and Sunday last weekend. Coming up on this weekend, I came back to shooting 1 day because Sunday is Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't even get. I'm back to having to cram in everything into 1 day again. So it's going to be tough, and it is tough. But you know what? We have the actors have really kind of stepped up, and they've been, it doesn't matter how long this takes. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. And I'm like, that's, and when you do get those days with the actor, when you look at the actor, and they've only, they've been going, 13 hours at that point, and then you're going to have to cry again, and when they say, yeah, let's do it. Then you got good people. When they don't care, when they're not saying to you, well, I really need to go home, or this has just been too much of a long day. Those are people that are dedicated.
Right.
Dedication is shown by the complete and utter dedication with zero complaining.
Yeah, you're right. And I think the story itself probably made it, fun to shoot this too. And like I could just imagine being one of the actors or being one of the performers on this series, and every day going in, it's just got to be fun. It doesn't seem like it's a boring thing. Like, even with the youngsters that go to school and stuff, this has got to be exciting for everybody. So I can't imagine why anybody would want to get bored with that.
Well, and that's the thing. They're because they go to school and the kids are watching the show. So when they go to school,
right.
They get to have those kids go, oh, hey, I watched the show this weekend. You did really good. Or I watched the show this weekend, and I was so mad when so and so did this. And it's the younger kids getting that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
For them, it's cool too, getting that notoriety. Now, there's always Todd standing in the background going, if you get a big head and you start acting like an idiot, I'll kill you off. I'll kill you off. I know you're supposed to live until the end of the show. I'll kill you off if you act like an idiot. I wrote most of the show. Yeah. I can write you off.
That's right. Right. You can look.
I read you, and I can make another one look just like you.
Right. You can put in motion the execution.
Yep.
Right.
It only takes me the wrong turn. Everybody's been great, Keith. Everybody's been great. I can't say enough about our cast and our crew. They've really been stepping up, and even the extras, man. I mean, some of the people that started off as extras are now, they've gone from extras. Well, we've got one guy that his name is Billy Elliott. He was a zombie extra forever since day one. Right. Now he's one of our cameramen.
Oh wow! So
he wanted to learn how to run camera, and I had a couple of weekends where I didn't have a crew. I didn't have a camera crew, but I had the cameras.
Right.
So Billy stepped over to the place, came over to the house, and learned how to run into the cameras. And now he's got 2 weekends. He's got two shoots now that he's been the camera person, one of the camera people.
Right.
And then some of the other ones too are, wow, it's pouring down rain. You hear that?
Yeah. What is that?
That's rain.
Wow. Whoa.
Anyway, and then you've got another older couple, Jerry and Shane Gaddy, who started off as extras. Now they're in charge of getting the extras.
Oh,
they stepped up and said, hey, man, we'll go ahead and call everybody for you and help you out. They stepped up to the place and now they're helping out doing the extras casting for the show.
So in the town in general, this became a project, which is great. This became a project that people just got behind you and wanted to become a part of, and then you've got people learning, like you say, with the camera guy too.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep. I mean, it's really been rewarding at the end to just see everybody working so hard, and in the end, we look at the product, the end product, and to have people that are in the industry get a hold of me and go, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
For something that is, you know, you guys, you know, shoot sometimes for less than 12 hours, and you're getting a whole episode done. So, you know, I'm really proud of what we're putting out. You know, it may not be Walking Dead, it may not be CSI, but you know what? I don't look at anything that we've done and can say, I'm kind of ashamed of that. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, you know?
Listen, you know what? And
I'm proud of the work.
Right, and you know what? And in no way, and here's the next thing about that, what you just said. See, you know, what I like about it is, first of all, is there shouldn't ever really be that comparison. And it doesn't need to be that comparison. Because what you do is your own great writing. And it speaks for itself. It doesn't even try. I think sometimes where people can do certain things and try to put it into a different category that it really doesn't even belong in. Surviving the Undead is Surviving the Undead, and it holds its own weight. And that's just the bottom line. I can think of differences that I like about Surviving the Undead that I kind of favor over Walking Dead. And don't get me wrong, Walking Dead is one of my favorite shows. But if I could switch a few things, you know, for Surviving the Undead, I definitely would, and go with Surviving the Undead. So you're doing a wonderful job, Todd. Never no need to. Never no need. Right, because you know, again, like I say, I don't get the family element. You know more that. Listen, when I watch your show, I get a Lifetime effect. You know what I'm saying? Like a Lifetime channel effect. Right.
Yeah.
Along with the whole zombie scenario. So, I'm definitely in your team with what you're doing. Now, what about the cast? Like you were saying that the cast will be changing a bit. I know you can't give too much away about that, but it's going to be totally different, as you say.
It was kind of funny when I decided that I wanted to try and expand and go further with the show. I was like going, now what can I do different that nobody else is doing? And this was 2 years ago. This was before we shot what we shot now. And what I had thought was, what if every season was different?
Yeah.
I mean, at a different set now. It starts all over again. The entire it doesn't pick up where the last season ends. It starts over.
Right.
Because I think that every situation with your zombie apocalypse can always be different in accordance to where you are.
Okay.
You know? So what we decided was that on episode 2 was going to have a whole new cast and then start over and have it be in a different location. So we were thinking along the lines of, you know, let's go, episode 2 is going to be in a bank.
Oh, wow. What?
So episode 2 is going to take place in a bank.
And there's a lot of things can go down in the bank. Greed, everything.
Well, and not only that, but it happens during a bank robbery.
Oh, see there? I didn't even know it. Oh, man. See there?
So I'll just cut it off right there and just say it. But then it was funny because at that point I hadn't seen American Horror Story yet. And people had been talking about the show, so I had watched the first season. And then I went to watch the second season, and they've got the same people on it, but they're playing different parts. And I went, oh, cool.
Right.
Somebody else thought of this, too.
Yep.
So, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bring back the same actors, or if I'm going to, you know, I've been thinking about it. Of course, my actors are going, dude, I can play another part.
Hey.
Do what they do in American Horror Story.
Look, I was great to say, look, you already know how that's going to turn out now, Todd. You know a lot. You know good as well. They sitting back going, wait a minute now. I know, you know, they want to be in, I'm sure they want to be in the next one. You're in a tie up with that one.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's what's cool about it, you know. It makes me feel good that they enjoy doing this so much that they would endure torture for me yet again to be in another show. But what I want to do is I want to be able to have a little bit of money behind it this time. Just because the bank idea requires a building or a set.
Right.
And I have a couple of buildings here in town that have been vacant for some time, but they resemble a bank. Right. And so what I want to do is I want to rent this place out for like 2 months and have a little bit of money behind us, and then go and shoot in this location and get the entire city, because nothing is going to happen outside of this location.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So the entire season is going to take place in this bank.
Right. Well, you know what? And listen, and for everybody out there listening, especially everybody up in that area who knows exactly where Todd is talking about, I'm just going to come out and say it. Come on out the pockets and help out with the project to keep it going. And you know what? And I'm sure that people there as well are standing behind, this, because it means a lot for the place that you're in. You know, I'm sure they already have a good reputation, but this also brings the motion picture. It brings the motion picture popularity to there, and what you're doing also adds on to the tourist attraction value. I'm assuming too. It definitely will.
I think sometimes people don't look at it that way. They don't think of it that way because Hollywood has gotten such a lousy reputation,
right?
For being, arrogant or greedy or whatever. But us independent guys, I'm one of those guys that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it and I get it done, and I don't do it half-assed. And that's one thing that people can say. I didn't quit on this. I didn't stop. I didn't give up. Yeah. Probably there were times, Keith, during the shooting of this that I probably could have given up. I probably could have thrown my hands up and went, "Screw it, I'm done." I'm tired of these. I'm tired of this crap. I'm not doing it anymore. But I didn't. There was stuff that happened during the shooting of this that probably most people would have just given up, and I went, okay, well, how are we going to fix it?
Right. And just right, and kind of backing on what you said, just for a lot of the listeners out there and those who might not know Todd. I had this conversation with someone the other day, just as a matter of fact. I had this conversation. And that was one of the reasons that I definitely had to reach out to you. And I said, because it wasn't so much as about doing, doing the show as far as the project, which was also a big concern. But I just genuinely wanted to talk to Todd again on the show. and what I meant by that is, for everybody out there, it's just like he just pointed out. You got your big-headed people out there in the industry, and then you've got your people like Todd, who do this open-heartedly. You look at just how many lives that Todd has changed from the youth, just from kids who go to school on up in ages. Just how many people who don't look at this as some sort of, and look, I'm going to step on the soapbox to a minute with you, Todd, but just some of the people who genuinely can appreciate this because they have love for where they come from, because they have love for somebody like Todd who's giving something back from, to where he is, opposed to the people out there who are just like, bougie and, hey, this is what we do and this and that. What Todd does is fun. He does it from heart, and I have to say he's a man of his word, absolutely. From day one that we spoke, Todd, everybody out there, he's been keeping his words behind the scenes with me. I look up, every time I look up, here comes some mail from Todd. Here comes some mail from Todd. You know what I mean? And so just to kind of back on what he said, Todd is really a genuine guy. And I'm sure working with him, his spirit is just as fun as what you hear today. And so I just wanted to put that out there to you, Todd. That was one of my main reasons for getting you back on here. Is I said, look, I just want to sit and talk to Todd again and see what's going on out there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Keith. I mean, and I do listen to the show, I mean, I get to listen to it live, but I listen to it after you stuck them up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you're genuine too. That's what I like about you. And that, some people, sometimes people go, well, why do you want to do those kind of things? Why do you want to do those? To me, there's talkers, Keith, and there's doers.
Yeah.
I know people that have been talking about doing stuff forever. and then they still ain't got nothing done.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, I'm not going to sit there and talk about it all day. It's like, look, here's what I'm doing. You're in or you're out.
Yep.
If you're not going to do it, I'm going.
That's it.
So you're either on the bus or you're not. Take your pick.
Yep.
I just, now my wife probably wants to kill me sometimes. Just because I made a decision to do something, and I guess some people just don't. Some people aren't used to that. My wife is. I think she's about 90% used to me now. Because when I fail to do something, I do it.
Yeah.
And that's and in doing that, I always want to get people on board that don't get that opportunity, that aren't going to have that, maybe not have that chance living where we live, or maybe somebody else didn't give them that chance. Now, in doing that, I've been screwed over a multitude of times, but I haven't given up on people.
Exactly.
Even when I wanted to.
Yeah. And you know what? That says a lot. That says a lot about you, because and it explains why you're in the position you're in to be able to lead such a crew that's doing such a well job. Is that you have to have that leadership quality. Is when the rest of the ship seems like it's going to sink, or every now and then you have somebody who jumps ship, you have to keep it positive for everybody else and be able to carry on, which is what you've done.
Well, and to do that, you cannot be a leader. You cannot be in this business if you are not willing to step up and be that leader. You can't do something. You can't say you're going to do something if you're not willing to do it yourself.
Right.
If you're not willing to jump in the water and see how cold it is, but you want these 10 people to jump in the water and see how cold it is, but you're not willing to do it yourself, then what's the point of asking anybody to do it?
Right.
So it's I'm one of those guys. I was on and how I got like this was I was on an independent movie set a few years ago, and I was the second assistant director. A light got knocked over. For 2.5 hours, we had to sit and listen to the debate from the producers and some of the other guys about why this light got knocked over. To me, and finally, I just said, are we going to stand around with our thumbs up our butts trying to figure out who broke this light? We wasted 2.5 hours. It's broke. Put a new bulb in it, plug it back in, and let's shoot.
Right.
If it's broke, fix it. Don't worry about it. You can figure out, you can play the blame game down the road. You can play the blame game at the end of the day. Right now, we've got stuff to do. And I'm about getting things fixed. I don't care who broke it. It's broke. Let's put some tape on it and move on.
Yeah. What now, with Surviving the Undead, making the noise that it is making, have you already, sometimes when you're sitting back and you're off, are you able to think of any other projects that you might come up with in the future, or you're just kind of Surviving Undead is just your baby right now, or?
Well, it's funny, Keith, that you asked me that.
I knew it.
Let me put it this way. I have got on my computer, between scripts and story treatments and outlines, I have got. If we could get funding for every one of these projects, we would probably be working until we dropped over.
Oh, wow. I can believe it.
I have got so many ideas. I have got so many projects. And they're all good. They're all ones that would be commercially could be a success.
Right.
I just got so many ideas. I mean, between the Blood and movie that I want to do with Mike Akers, to China White.
Oh, man. China White.
So,
Woo. Look,
I sent you those treatments.
Yeah.
I sent you those.
I'm still, look, and I'm still revving over China White. Look, that's one, honestly, Todd, that's one that I'm going to, when you get ready, look, when you know, when it's time and when things work out proper for that, I'm definitely coming to audition for one of those. Anything you need some extra on also. Now, what can people do? Do you have any campaigns going on right now, or any in the future that you want people to get involved with, or?
Well, you know what, Keith, I don't have anything going on trying to raise money. I want to go more along the lines of trying to get investors.
Okay.
First up, I've gone the Indiegogo and Kickstarter routes, and unfortunately, the people that you know and the people that you try to talk to about these things, you know, they're just as broke as you are.
Yeah.
You know, and if somebody doesn't believe in what you're doing, they're not even going to want to give you $5. You know, and I don't want to be the guy, because those Kickstarter campaigns and those Indiegogo campaigns, those things, I did one to raise $1,500 for the film that I did a few years ago called Me a Rapist. And that was a 12-hour-a-day job to sit on the computer and write letters and send out emails and do all that. You got to have 2 or 3 people to just do that.
Yep.
That is not an easy task. If somebody tells you it is, they're lying their ass off.
Oh, they are. You know what? And I'll speak on that too. You know, sometimes, because I've looked at that the same way. I mean, I've went that route myself, even with my show. And I have to be honest, I had to sit back sometimes and say to myself, listen, I looked at how hard it was to really earn $1 on there. And, you know, and you know, big shout outs and thank you to the couple, and I do mean couple of people, you know what I'm saying, that you know, were nice enough to send something. But afterwards, I started to think to myself that the amounts of money that I saw some people raise, Todd, I'm thinking there had to be something behind that. These people had to either know these people already or something, because it is ridiculously hard to earn money or to raise money on these sites.
I know. Well, and I thought, I was thinking to myself, because I did a Kickstarter campaign for China White after I did the campaign for Me a Rapist, and I'm thinking to myself, with all the people that are involved in China White, there's got to be no way that we are going to be able to raise at least $50,000, especially when I had, at that time before I switched out my Facebook page,
Right.
I was at my limit. I had 5,000 friends. I thought if every one of you guys gave me, if every one of you gave me $5, I'd hit my goal. I'd hit my goal.
Look.
You know how much money I raised off that thing? $45.
Look, Todd, and you did better than I did, and I think I only had like a shoot. I know. I went out of the way though, because I think I tried to raise $20,000, and honestly, I should have never done that. Todd, I should have known better, right? But I got 35. You know. And I'm saying to myself, I go, well, my goodness. I go, now myself, and just like you said, with as many people as involved, I said to myself, now, I just didn't understand it, but it's the way that it goes. And it just shows that you really have to have love for what you do. And that's what shows about yourself, for instance, just, you know, knowing how I am. You love what you do, and you make it happen. And in the meantime, you, as I said, you just drive the ship, and you carry everybody with you. And you have great ideas, too.
Well, thanks. I mean, I like to think I have good ideas. You know, I mean, people always tell me, "Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, that's a great idea." Good. You want to help me here?
Man.
Seems like sometimes everybody wants to be a part. Everybody wants to take a ride on the ship.
Right.
But nobody wants to help you patch the hole up to get it fixed.
There it is. Or put no petrol, no fuel in the ship.
Yeah, you know, it's like, oh yeah, well come on now, let's get in the car and go to the beach. Well, good, I ain't got no gas. You ain't got no gas. Hey, Joey, why don't you take us to the beach?
Yeah.
Well, what? I thought you just wanted to go to the beach with me. Well, you ain't got no gas. Why don't you give me some money to get some gas? Well, Joey's got gas. I know he's got
Right. You know, that's one thing, though. You know, I'm glad we talked about that. I had never had that conversation with anybody, you know, before, again, because I'm always talking to quote unquote Hollywood. But, you know, I had never had that conversation before, but I was sitting back thinking, you know, one day I don't know. I'm going to get Indiegogo on the show one day so we can get some answers, Todd, on how to do this.
And you know what? Indiegogo and Kickstarter have some great videos that you can watch to show you how to get the funding that you're looking for. But again, I watched those videos. You can't do it by yourself.
No, you cannot. And I got emails. Listen, I got so many emails. I don't know if you got them too, but I started to get all of these emails from all of these so-called agencies that would say they would do this and they would that and they would put it out and they would market it. But the crazy part was they charged money too. And a lot of them wanted the money up front. I'm just thinking, well, I mean, if I'm on, by the time I pay all you guys, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. And you know what, though? Most of those guys, if they want money up front, then they ain't real.
Right. Exactly.
That's how it works anyway. I mean, and actors out there, if an acting agency wants money from you, then they ain't an acting agency.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
you
true.
Know? I mean, because real agents make their money on the back end. Mm-hmm. That's how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So all right. So listen. So you say this weekend you're only going to be able to shoot on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm only going to be able to shoot Saturday because of Mother's Day. So I'm hoping I can get through. I mean, we shot quite a bit. We shot a lot of stuff for 2 episodes last weekend. So I mean, we were blowing through some stuff, man. I mean, we were hightailing it, and we shot about 3/4 of 2 episodes, episodes 7 and 8. So we're busting ass, and we're getting things done, and I'm actually on my way home now to edit, to get episode 6 finished up for tonight.
Okay.
To get that done because so it'll be ready to run this weekend.
Hey, you know what I want to do, Todd. What I'm getting ready to start doing on the show is I'm switching to visuals now. We're doing this thing, and here it is. I'm making an announcement too, and this is the first time I'm making this announcement. Is that excuse me? We're getting ready to go to Hotline TV, so we won't just be Hotline Radio anymore. We're actually starting the visuals of it, and so listen. I'd love to invite you, Todd, to be my first visual.
Oh man, I'm good radio, brother. I ain't good. You don't want me on TV. That's funny. I'll do it, Keith. I appreciate it, man. That is an honor. That is an honor.
And you know what? And what we'll do is, so everybody's out there, you know, hearing me make this announcement first. And listen, I know how busy it is for Todd, and we won't want him to give away too much. But the way we'll do it is one day, if you can. What we'll do is when you're live on set, when you guys are on set filming or whatever, that way we can get a chance to sit down and we'll talk to you face to face, and you know, we'll talk to your actors and things like that, and the production crew and everything like that, and just get everything in there. I'd love to do that, Todd. Me and you, man.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Just let me know. Probably. Let me know when you're ready to do it. I mean, we could probably fit you in either this weekend or the following weekend.
All right.
Would be great.
Well, we're gonna look, because like I say, this is the first announcement that I've even made of this publicly. You know, because we were always talking about going visuals at first anyway, because so many people obviously wanted to do that. And we were working on, you know how it is, you know, just in the, dealing with cameras and technicalities and not wanting glitches and, you know, the interview cutting off in the middle of talking and everything. So, so the beginning of June, starting in June, that's what we're going to do. And listen, I'm going to be honored and excited to just really share that with you, because like I say, Todd, from day one when we connected, you know, you've been genuine. Another guy who's been really genuine with me the whole time is Jose Maisonette. Big shouts out to him as well. You know, and So that's going to be a big deal. And we're looking forward to it, man. And Listen, Todd. Look, I want to say keep doing what you're doing. Is there anything else? Any plugs? Anything else going on? Or when the next episode is coming on? Or
episode 6 will be on this Saturday. 10 o'clock here locally. Cable channel 16, Dish Network channel 27, and digital antenna channel 27. And then immediately following the show, I release it on YouTube for everybody to watch. I just want people to watch. I want them to enjoy it. I want to hear feedback. You know, if you hear something, go to the Surviving the Television series Facebook page and tell us what you think. I mean, I'm not going to cry if there's something about it you don't like. If you think something's cheeseball, you think you don't like. I take constructive criticism. I'm not one of those people that if you tell me, "Well, I don't like what you did," to me, if you can't take constructive criticism from the general public, from the people that are watching your show, and you just all you want to hear is the positive stuff, the negative stuff is what makes you get better.
Right.
That's what makes us learn. That's how we learn. I mean, in this business, you don't ever stop learning. If you've gotten to a point in your film career, quote unquote, that you don't feel like you need to learn anymore, get the hell out. Go get that job at Burger King, because like those of us who want to keep learning, keep going, because that's what this business is all about. It's changing every minute of every day. Right. And if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to take that criticism, you know what, man, get out and let people who want to learn and let them go, because you're just a roadblock right now.
Absolutely. And you know what? What I want to do now, what I want to do this evening, as a matter of fact, the episodes, because now I know that. Okay, let me ask you a question now. Okay, so all of the segments that you have sent, look, I don't want to give so much away the secrets, but so all because I'm getting ready to ask, because what I want to do is I want to go post all of the segments that I have that have already aired. I'm just going to go post them back to back tonight, Todd. Because see, what I want people.
You know what, that's totally fine, because everything that you have is everything that's aired so far.
Okay.
So, because you have the first 5 episodes. Episode 6 isn't going to show up until Saturday night. Now, usually as soon as I go up on YouTube, I send it out to people like yourself.
Right.
And I always say, hold on to it till Sunday. Hold on to it till Sunday.
Right.
But as it stands right now, all the episodes that you have already aired.
Okay, good. Because, see, this is how I want to do it. I want to put them up because, see, I want to put them up so that as soon as somebody watches it, because when it goes off, they're like, oh, wow, what's going to happen next? I want them to click right to the next one right away.
All right. And go ahead. Go right ahead.
And
feel free to do that, bro.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right, and follow them all the way through. You know, that way they don't catch one. Because, you know, I tell you, the social media thing, I love it to death, but there's so much, excuse me, especially for people like us. With the social media, there's so much going through at the same time that, people can watch something, and then by the time it comes around again, they might miss it, go through the feed on the next time through. So that's one of my marketing strategies. I want to put them all up at the same time, so once you're in them, you're staying in them all the way through. And and I know they love them, so I'm definitely going to do that this evening.
Well, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And I also know that come September, Surviving the Undead will be available on Amazon.com.
Oh, okay. Amazing. All right. That's good to know. And I know a lot of people are on the Amazon, so make sure you guys all go check that out. All right. Listen, Todd, man, look, it's been a blast talking to you as usual. I feel a certain sigh of relief now that we had another conversation, because I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but I said, let me let him go ahead and get through, get a few things out of the way and go on before we talk again, man. I'm glad we did. And I appreciate you just responding to me as quick as possible and getting right back to me. Listen, everybody out there, Todd is a great guy. There's no red tape with Todd. As much as he films and as great of a job as he's doing, like I say, there's no red tape with Todd. He's just as down to earth as the guy that you hear online today, and that's a really special thing. Make sure you reach out to him on social media as well. You got Facebook. Do you have Twitter too, Todd?
You know what? I don't It's kind of funny. I don't recall if I have a Twitter account or not. No, I have a Twitter account. I have one via the Surviving the Undead. I think it's called SURV. SURV. Undead TV, I think is what it is. I'll post it on my Facebook page. And actually, at the end of episode 5, in the blooper section, if you go past the end credits, now that's one other thing too. You got to tell everybody, you got to watch the episodes all the way past the end credits, because past the end credits, there's behind the scenes interviews. We've got bloopers on there. There's advertisements for our sponsors. So there's a lot of stuff that's past the end credits. So make sure you guys watch past the end credits.
Right.
But at the end of episode 5, during the blooper section, I think I have all of our Twitter accounts up there, because we have Twitter accounts for the Deb and Keit characters and Jeremy, and they all argue. And they all talk about things that happen in the show.
Wow.
And Deb tweets her disdain for our character Jeremy, and they have banters going on all the time. And so
I'm getting ready. I'm going on there. Look, I'm going on. You're going to hear about me, Todd. I'm going on there and go crazy.
Right on, Keith. I appreciate it, man. You're doing such a great job, man. I mean, anybody out there, don't just listen to the show if I'm on it. You guys need to listen to the show, because Keith has a lot of great stuff to say. His guests are off the chain, man. I mean, the guests that he's got on the show are crazy. Yeah. So you guys need to listen to this show. Don't just listen to it when I'm on it. Yeah. Listen to it. Listen to it every time he's got somebody, because if you're in the industry and you want to learn something, he's got people on there that can teach you stuff, man. So, I mean, people that are in the trenches. So, get on there and listen to a show. Listen to a show, support it.
Absolutely. We go behind the scenes, and I'm making some different, and I'm getting ready to switch to a different airtime too. So it'll be, I'm switching my time. So it'll be, it'll be like 9 o'clock. It'll be like 9 o'clock you guys' time. Over there in Colorado also, Todd. So that way when you're home, you know what I'm saying? You're home, you can check it out. And I was going to say bring some of the cast members on, but we'll do that once we do the live show in June. And we'll have everybody
you're going to love the cast. They're so much fun. They're so much fun.
They're going to be amazing. All right, Todd, listen, I know you're dealing with the rain out there. I'm not sure if you're still in it or you made it in the house yet, but, get out of that 40-degree stuff. If it gets any lower, it could turn to ice, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, thanks again, Keith, for having me on, and I appreciate everybody's support out there for the show. We worked really hard on it, and I really appreciate your support, Keith. It's really been an honor to have you be a part of something that we're all really very passionate about.
Yeah, and before I get ready to go, people, because listen, a lot of people out here listen to me do this show, and they are my guests, and I love all my guests. Don't get me wrong, it's a great time with all my guests, but Todd here is someone that I don't really just consider Todd a guest. Todd is someone who, like I say, I just enjoy talking to on the show, and just enjoy the good work that he does. So he has a very special place here on the show. Everybody out there, in case you're just tuning in, like I say, you should always been here from the beginning. But in case you're tuned in late, this complete conversation between Todd E. Braley and myself, writer, director, and producer of the amazing show Surviving the Undead, will be posted not long from now, as a matter of fact, on social media, so you can go back and check out the whole show. Todd, it's been a blast. Tell the whole staff, tell the crew, say hello to the Mrs. Force here at the KeithHarris Show on Hotline Radio. And listen, we love what you guys do. It's a big deal. And we appreciate you, Todd.
Well, thank you, Keith. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all your listeners supporting us. And I appreciate I appreciate everybody that stands behind us, and stands behind me even during the dark times. So it's definitely it's definitely appreciated. So
and so I
can never say it enough.
I know, and for everybody out there, Listen, if you cannot see the Undead, again, I'm getting ready. If you can't see it on the cable station, is what I mean. I'm getting ready to post all of the segments that you missed up on social media. So make sure you go watch them. Make sure you go check them out. I'm gonna push them in your face anyway, so you gotta watch it. I know you're gonna love it. Now,
5 episodes.
that's right, 5 episodes of it.
There's only 5 left.
Got right. And look forward to the next season. And for all of the people that are up in that area or in Colorado, or they can pick up the station that are not in the immediate town, just one more time before we go, what time the show comes on, Todd?
The show's on Saturday nights on cable channel 16, and Dish Network, it's on channel 27. And if you have a digital antenna, it's also on channel 27. So 27, 16, 27.
There you go. All official channels. So there's no excuses, no reasons now to not have it tuned in.
And it's on YouTube. If you can't watch it on YouTube, then you need to be smacked.
Right.
Get your money attention.
Exactly. If you can't get it on YouTube, you look. If you can't get it on YouTube, then you can't get nothing.
Yeah. And you live in the mountains.
Right. All right, Todd, man. Listen, y'all have a blessed day out there. We'll be talking to you soon, brother.
Keith, thank you again. Thank you, everybody out there. Appreciate you. Love you. I will talk to you all again soon. You have an amazing rest of your day.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Everybody out there, that was Todd E. Braley, my friend Todd E. Braley, man, really cool guy. As I say before, it's, as well as just talking about the awesome work that him and his team does, genuine guy, and it's just always good to just sit down with Todd, catch the positive vibes, talk about what he's got going on. All right. So everybody make sure you check it out. All right. If you're up there, the stations that he said, catch it on Dish Network. You can catch it on your antenna TV as well. Also, make sure you check out the YouTube joints. I'll be putting those up very shortly. All right. Big shouts out to the whole staff and everybody with Surviving the Undead. I'm telling y'all, check it out. It's something for everybody. It's a family show. Okay. So like I said, you got your action and your intense moments, but then you also got your intense, with the zombies, but then you've also got your intense moments that are going on with the family in general. So you may look over at your cousin or your uncle and be like, you know what? That's a good way for us to look at that. You know what I'm saying? So, as well as this a show about zombies, surviving the undead, don't get it confused with the typical monster television. Okay? There's a lot of lessons to be learned in this show as well. So, once again, big shouts out to them, and we look forward to that. All right? You listen to the #1 station on the net, Hotline Radio, Keith Harris Show. Of course, I'm your host, Keith Harris. Don't y'all touch that dial. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. We're going to jump into some music right now. Get it out the mud. Kevin Gates.